Practice at Drake in front of a lot of our alums and fans and students, and invite recruits out here to see this beautiful campus on an amazing day. You know, it's kind of what we were trying to get done. And we were able to have a good physical, productive practice and not get guys injured. And you know, that's always part of it. You know, you want to be able to play physical and play with some violence, and yet you know, stay off the ground. And so that's why we practice the way we do on days like this. But I was pleased with the progress we made all spring, and I felt like today was probably a little bit of icing on the cake for us, and it came together nicely today. I've been in, you know, these types of events where everything kind of goes to hell in a handbasket, guys lose their minds, and tons of penalties and problems, and we didn't have that. And I think I've kind of been talking about that all spring, is the camaraderie, the maturity, the progress we've made, and I saw it today. I thought our protection was good. I thought we threw the ball down the field well. You know, we didn't run the ball a lot in our team stuff because we wanted to emphasize the pass. We did our 20-play 9-on-7, and it was good. So I'm just pleased with where we are and the direction we're headed, and I'm excited to take a little bit of time and let these guys download, and then, you know, hit the strength and conditioning again, and then get ready to go in the fall. So everything was very positive today.
How's the offense come along from day one of spring to now?
Well, it's like, you know, it's like night and day. It really is. I mean, the first day of spring, you know, you go in with the attitude, you understand there's a new concept being developed, and you know that it might be a little bit sloppy, and it was. But every day they got a little bit better, and then I think last week is when I noticed that they really made a significant jump in terms of execution and consistency, and I thought today was another jump. And so what we have to do is continue to work hard to develop that consistency, to understand the concepts, to put guys in the right position to make plays, and work hard, and the guys will do that.
How about the progress in cadence and false starts? I don't know if I saw any today.
We had one, and it was a wide receiver. So we made a lot of progress there, and defensively as well. You know, working against a team like our offense, it gives you multiple cadences. It helps you defensively. You know, develop that discipline to, you know, move with the ball. That I think, you know, it's no secret we've had some penalty issues, and so I think this will help us. And it gives us, with a smart, aware quarterback like Josh, who really understands our system. I think it gives us a tremendous advantage when we get into game planning and we understand, you know, what teams are trying to do to us. Josh will be able to, I think, manipulate defenses very, very well.
That's a tough question, but is there any one guy on offense and defense, a returnee, who made a big leap already just in spring practice?
I would have to say that just off the top of my head on offense, the young man that has stood out most to me is Bolu. I just think that he's done a tremendous job. I think that Darren Andrews as well, Alex Van Dyke, and Austin Roberts. Those would be the four guys on offense that, to me, really elevated their game through the course of the 15 spring practices. On defense, you know, Jayon Brown, but he played well at the end of the year. But, you know, every day he was consistent. You know, I liked Randall out at corner. I think Matt Dickerson and Jacob Tuyatu-Mariner did a ton of great things. And then I guess if you look at the whole team and the guy that was probably the MVP of the camp, not that we named one, it would be Tack McKinley. You know, every day he was just, you know, the way he came off the edge. And I think the way Tom Bradley is using him in our defense and trying to get him on the open side, where he's not getting banged by a tight end. He's up to about 265. He's a 10-600 meter guy in high school, and he's still got that speed. So I think he can be very, very dangerous, and I'm excited to watch him.
The General Fund to support UCLA athletics is striving to reach 8,000 members, contributing to the success of UCLA student athletes.
Embracing the changes that we were making and understanding that they were for his benefit. And from day one, he was really excited about the fact that we were doing the things that we were doing. And if you saw him, you know, over the course of the last probably 7 or 8 practices, I mean, not all great, but you just saw little pieces of improvement every time. And then today, just like he always does when he's on a stage that's different from practice, he seems to rise up and excel. But I feel like he's calm, he grasps the concepts, he likes the concepts. Now I think a lot of it is just getting a feel for the receivers he's throwing to. You know, a lot of these guys he really hasn't thrown a lot of passes to. They're going to need to work hard in the spring and in the summer on their own just to develop that, continue to develop that chemistry.
Kenny Walker had a couple big catches. Where has he made the most strides?
Be there for the 2016
catching the ball on a consistent basis. You know, Kenny's problems have not been getting open. His problems have never been speed.
Get your tickets now at
You know, we've all seen that at times, you know, he doesn't catch the ball as consistently as you'd like. But the last few weeks, he just has, you know. And it kind of goes along with the overall and total development of Kenny Walker as a human being. This is a kid that at the Alamo Bowl was academically ineligible. And since that day, he has not gotten a B in any course on this campus. And so to see him excel academically, to see him now excel athletically, to me, he could be one of the surprises in the country this year. And I know that's probably a really, really big statement to make, but I just got a gut feeling about the kid.
What's encouraged you about Ish's transition to receiver?
We've been looking for somebody that could catch the ball in the slot, you know, not necessarily a downfield throw, but you know, something quick, short, and make a play on his own. You know, make people miss and go the distance. And Ishmael has that ability. We always saw it as a returner. You see it on offense. So when he's playing offense, you can predict, you can dictate when he gets the ball. Now, he still has a lot of the little nuances of playing the position that he's got to master. You'll see him at times freelance a little bit, but I think he's going to be a great weapon for us. I think Josh has a lot of confidence in him. I know the coaches do. And with Eric Yarber coaching him, the fundamentals, the skills, and like I said, the nuances, he will develop those.
What about kicking with J.J. Wilson in that competition? How's that going?
You know, it's gone well. I think that we have two very capable kickers. Obviously, none of them have done it in the game. And until you're out on the Rose Bowl, you're at whatever the stadium's name is down at Texas A&M. What's the name?
Kyle Field.
Kyle Field in front of 105,000 people. That's probably a little bit different than kicking out here at Drake or over on the IM field. So, but I think that both JJ and Andrew they're pretty nervy. So I feel good about our kicking game. And JJ, the ball comes off his foot really well. He's got a strong leg.
What's the biggest question you still have about this team?
I think the interior of our offensive line. You know, Scotty Quisenberry, we have a lot of confidence in as a player. But he's coming off two, you know, lateral surgeries. You know, we're trying to replace both of our guards. Now, Kenny Lacey's played there, but, you know, not consistently. Getting, you know, the young man that's transferring in, that'll help us. We've got some young freshmen that are come in that are going to need to make a big jump quickly. But I would say probably that area, and then probably receiver, you know, just because you're replacing Jordan Payton, you're replacing Devin Fuller, and you're replacing Thomas Duarte, who are all three, you know, not just great players last year, but over the course of their career, they were some of the all-timers. So there's a question there.
Is there any player on defense that you might consider switching to offense because of the offensive line depth?
No. No, it's not as easy as, you know, as it may seem. It's not. You know, just because they're big doesn't mean they can play offense or defense. It's a skill set that you have to work on for years and years and years and develop. And, you know, I think we're going to be okay on the offensive line. I think that, you know, Paco coming in is going to really help us. And like I said, the transfer that we get in, I don't think I'm allowed to say his name yet. I think he's really going to help us. And I think Kenny Lacey is another guy that started spring a little slow and then really came on at the end.
UCLA Athletics and IMG College. Thanks to
Najee can play.
And involvement of the 2016
one of the guys that's really had a tremendous spring is, and when you're watching practice, it's hard to say how an offensive lineman's doing, but Pwasi Mwala has been outstanding. So I think we're going to be okay up there. You know, it's like every year I've been here, it's trying to, you know, get those five guys working together on a consistent basis and being productive.
Do you maybe want to give Charles Dawson a little?
You know, the club, man, we call him the club. Charles, he earned a scholarship last year as a walk-on, and he's a young man that really does deserve a look because he makes plays. And we've all seen it for years. The kid comes out and it doesn't matter who he's covering, he makes plays. And I think sometimes you overlook a walk-on because he's a walk-on. Well, this kid is a really good player, and we have to give him a look. I mean, when a guy makes plays at the rate that he makes plays, you're an idiot if you don't give him a look. So we're going to continue to give him a look.
Have you seen So-So make strides?
Oh yeah, So-So, you know, he's gotten bigger and he's gotten stronger and more physical, and he's, you know, I'm not sure exactly what he weighs, but I think he's around 220 or 225. You know, he's lean, but he's still packed. and he's got great speed and acceleration. Yet he's a glider, so sometimes it's a little deceptive. But catching the ball out of the backfield, his pass protection, just the consistency of his performance has been very good, very impressive.
So just the changes to the offense, you guys see his game particularly well?
Well, you know, plays are plays. You know, runs are runs, passes are passes. There's only so many concepts you can run in football. So there are certain changes, you know, but not anything that's, you know, so overwhelming that he can't handle it with just small adjustments to his game. You know, they might be getting the ball a little bit deeper than they did before on some plays, which gives him a little bit of time to build up, you know, some steam, get in the line of scrimmage. We might have to make a decision earlier, but I mean, he's just good football players are good football players, and they can adapt, and he's a good football player. So, okay,
Guys,
thanks everyone.